Hey guys, so I guess I'm having kind of a ranty week. First off, I wanted to talk a little bit about my aunt and the medication that ended in her having MRSA and some really bad reactions to an antibiotic. So my aunt had a sinus infection and she's been in a senior center, and her doctor decided that because she'd been complaining about the sinus infections for so long, he would put her on the same antibiotic that they use for anthrax. And my mom is a medical genius. I mean, how smart do you have to be just to read the contraindications sheet? She's just so smart because she's so common sense. And she went and read the contraindications, and it turned out that the hallucinations my aunt was having and the dizziness and everything were caused by the antibiotic, and the fact that her other medications had not been inspected to see if they would match with that antibiotic. And to me, that kind of says it all, that nobody checked that. And it says it all for how good my mom has become at just using her brain. Not that there's anything wrong with doctors, but that my lovely mother recognizes that doctors are people, and that as people they can make mistakes. And so as far as your own personal health goes, how smart is it just to double check things? When I was a kid, my mom...
Look at you. I'm doing another video because my...
Go wash your hands. I know. You just cut up all those onions for me. You need to go wash your hands with cold...
I already did.
With cold water, and then sprinkle cold water in your face, okay? That'll help. She just helped me make soup and didn't realize she should wash her hands afterwards. In my childhood, I had mercury toxicity. My mom had root canals just before she got pregnant with me, and they still used amalgam fillings, which are full of mercury and other bad, nasty, heavy metals. And that does cross the placental barrier. And so when I was born, I was just chock full of mercury. And my mom just took that bull by the horns, and when doctors didn't really know what to do about it, didn't know why I was having all these allergies and why I was so kind of stunted and just not thriving, she just went and made food diaries for her. She had these diaries where she wrote down, this is how she reacted to this, and this is how she reacted to this, and when I prepared it this way she could eat it, and when I prepared it this way she couldn't eat it. That's how we found out that there's mercury on the skins of bananas. That's how they preserve them for storage, for shipping. I don't know if it's to keep bugs out or just to keep them from rotting. I don't know, but she went and read, because I was reacting terribly to bananas. And I was just an itty bitty, way smaller than Kaya. And my mom found that if she put plastic bags on her hands and then peeled the banana so that the skin didn't touch the banana, I could eat bananas. She found that I could not tolerate store-bought milk. It had to be raw milk. And I did better with goat's milk. And so if you want to come in, come sit down. It could be raw milk, and I was better with goat's milk. And she had this huge journal of all the things that I could and couldn't interact with. And then later on, she did more research and found out that she was mercury toxic and went and got her amalgams removed. And then she learned later that having your amalgams removed can actually dump mercury into your system. And then she found Hal Huggins, and Hal Huggins had his protocol that would actually remove mercury from your body. And that was when I got well. And I was 22 years old when we got the protocol from Hal Huggins that removes mercury from your body, and how to deal with a bad dentistry. And during that time, we very rarely went to a doctor because so much of what was a struggle with us was just common sense, personal observation. And so today I want to give a shout out to my mom and to the moms out there in the world who don't take no for an answer when it comes to doctors saying that their kids aren't going to be able to do certain things or are going to be stuck with a limitation their whole lives. Because it really takes somebody who cares, somebody who's willing to look at all the details and take the time and track things down, and somebody who cares. And sometimes doctors just don't have the time to care that much. They don't have the time to really invest every waking moment to think about it. But mothers and fathers and brothers and sisters, your family has that time to be able to do that. And in my personal opinion, that's how people get well, is with that kind of care and loving. So there's my 2 cents.